Check, check.
The following is a presentation of the Game Time Sports Network.
From Dave Hall Field on the campus of Columbia State Community College in Columbia, Tennessee, it's the 2026 TCCAA Region 7 Baseball Tournament. And now, it's game time.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Columbia, Tennessee. We are on day 2 of the TCCAA Region 7 Conference Baseball Tournament. Rained out yesterday, so 4 games today. 10, 1, 4, and 7 are the scheduled times to winners bracket games. First game is Chattanooga State taking on the number 13 seed Walters State Senators, and last year's conference tournament winner. And in game 2, we have Columbia State, the host team, playing Dyersburg State, the upstart Dyersburg State Eagles, who won their first game, defeated Cleveland State, the number 3 seed, and we'll take on Columbia State in game 2. Games 3 and 4 will have Cleveland State against the loser of this game, and then Southwest Tennessee taking on the loser of the Columbia State Dyersburg State. See the umpires and the head coaches, Dave Shelton for Walters State and Greg Dennis. Jay Harper will effort to chat with Dave Shelton. As you hear, and there's Jay Harper with Dave Shelton.
student-athletes, coaches, and spectators. We ask all spectators, coaches, and student-athletes to show respect for the opposing team, game officials, and each other. Persons throwing objects, the use of profanity, racist, sexist, or other abusive comments or actions in opposition with good sportsmanship will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal from the facility and are subject to prosecution. Thank you for your cooperation. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome the starting lineups. First, starting with the number
All right, thank you, Jay. Jay with Coach.
Number 2, the second baseman, Ben Morgan.
I'm just trying to. Dave Shelton, as they got all the way to the championship game last year in Grand Junction, Colorado, and lost to Salt Lake Community College in a slugfest. And they are hoping, as all 6 teams here in the Region 7 Conference Tournament, hoping to get to Grand Junction. Of course, they'll have to play a 3-game series with the Georgia winner. Let's get you our starting lineups, as the public address announcer is announcing those here, but we'll get them to you on the Game Time Sports Network. For the visitors, the Chattanooga State Tigers with a 32-15 overall record. Leading off, Ben Morgan, he's going to play second base. Ty Newton, the two-way phenom for Chat State, the freshman, will bat second, play third base. Tyler Schaefer at left field batting third. Logan Wallace over at first base. He's the cleanup hitter. Center fielder Coleman Neese bats fifth. Taylor Head at shortstop batting sixth. The DH is Hunter Rather. He'll hit seventh. The 8-hole hitter Tyler Husky is out in right field. Batting eighth, and Luke Sweeney batting ninth, and he's behind the plate, and he is catching Benny Miller, a right-hander who is on for his 16th appearance. And Miller is a 5'10", 170-pound freshman from Knox High School. He's going to face one of the top hitting teams in the country in Walter State, who comes in with a 24-6 conference record, 46-10 overall, and they are the number 13 seed, or 13th ranked team in the country. Leading off, Cole Fenton, the sophomore. He's a shortstop, and batting second is one of the players of the year, Holden Pantier. He is the conference player of the year at third base, batting second. Caden Blair behind the plate. As our national anthem is on, we'll get the rest of the starting lineup.
Walter State, our story is focused on student success. We're dedicated to creating an environment where our students can thrive, both in and outside of the classroom. So, what do you want to study? Pick a program. We've got over 150 of them. Some are transfer programs that prepare you to transition to a 4-year school after you graduate. We also have regionally and nationally recognized programs that immediately make you career ready. Visit us at ws.edu or give us a call to get started today. Write your story at Walter State.
As a first-generation college student, estaba un poco nerviosa. I knew I would need extra support, but I didn't know where to find it. At Roan State, I have a success coach to help me with every step along the way. Para más información, visita la página roanstate.edu.
And Clint Brummett says play ball, our public address announcer, here all day long. We are on the Game Time Sports Network, on YouTube, on, what else we on? We on Twitter and Facebook, Huddle, all kinds of places you can find Game Time Sports Network. You can go to the GameTimeSportsNetwork.com and see all that's happening on the network. Later on the day, Jay Harper will have the call of the softball final, and it is the if necessary game between Volunteer State Community College out of Gallatin and Chattanooga State. Lady Tigers out of Chattanooga. Chattanooga State's had a stranglehold on the conference for the last several years. Blythe Golden, 8-time Coach of the Year. And this year, Vol State Christian Lynn won the award. And a lot of first and second team all-conference players will be playing right next door here while the 4 baseball games are going on. So if you're into the JUCO softball, catch that game. I believe it will begin at 2 o'clock. Shouldn't have any rain issues today. As you see, Major Osbolt out on the mound getting his warm-up tosses. Let me finish the Walter State lineup. We'll start all over. Cole Fenton leading off, playing shortstop. Holden Pantier batting second, playing third base. Hayden Blair behind the plate, hitting third. Drew Blaylock out at first base, hitting cleanup. Kenny Cox is the DH, batting fifth. Miles Shore in right field, bat sixth. Jackson Berry bats seventh. He'll play second base. Brady Dalton's in left field, hitting eighth. And Luke Graham in center field, batting ninth. And Major Osbolt is on the mound to face Ben Morgan. Osbolt delivers the first pitch that is just outside as we are underway, just a little before 10 a.m. Central Time. Game time temperature 60 degrees as we begin here. Game 1 of 4. Ben Morgan lifts one high out to right field. It's well hit. Miles Shore right on the warning track hauls that one in for out number 1. Morgan not known as a power hitter. He is known as an on-base leader. Flies out to begin our contest here today. Now Ty Newton steps in, switch hitting freshman playing third base. It is also a right-handed pitcher. Takes a called strike. Newton out of Freeville, New York, but he finished his high school career in Rockville, just outside of Murfreesboro. Takes a ball inside from Osbolt, who was last week's national pitcher of the week. And the conference boasts the last 2 weeks of that, as Newton gets under that one and pops it foul over toward the softball field, Eddie Campbell Field. This is Dave Hallfield, former head coach here at Columbia State. Osbolt delivers, swing and a miss, and down goes Newton on strikes. He's a first-team all-conference pitcher and a second-team all-conference hitter. So Osbolt picks up the strikeout. Third in the conference in strikeouts, 81 of those in his 56 2/3 innings coming into today's action. 15th appearance of the year. It's his 13th start, 6-1 record as he faces another left-handed hitter, Tyler Schaefer. Schaefer from Portland, Tennessee. That's up in Sumner County, just in the backyard of Volunteer State. He lines one out to left field. Brady Dalton back, and he makes the catch on the well-struck line drive to retire the side. Osbolt 3 up, 3 down in his half, and now Walter State will come get the bats and see if they can put anything on the board here. We'll be right back on the Game Time Sports Network.
Yeah, always leveling up her game. Soon she'll be ready to start building worlds and bringing them to life. How about Tony? He's forging ahead, learning how he can build his own business and help others. And Timothy? He's flipping the script and charting his own path. Soon he'll be reaching new heights with his degree. What do they all have in common? They're always moving forward. So what's stopping you? Elevate your skills and conquer your tomorrow at Southwest Tennessee Community College.
I chose Columbia State because it was very convenient, it's close to home.
I get a real sense of community, a sense of family.
I absolutely fell in love with the campus and the faculty and the programs and everything like that, and it was so awesome for me.
Explore your opportunities.
Benny Miller on the mound for Chattanooga State. They were one of the 10 teams that had to play-in games to get to the 6-team tournament. I happened to broadcast their 2 games against Volunteer State where they played at home. Benny Miller got a relief appearance in Game 2 of that series. That was a 13-3 victory for Chat State. A tight game in Game 1 that Ty Newton ended up winning with a grand slam in the bottom of the 9th inning as Vol State was leading 11-9. And he hits a grand slam with 1 out to walk it off, and then Mercy Rule win 13-3. Benny Miller in relief of Chandler Richardson went 4 innings, no hits, no runs, walked 1, struck out 6 as he faces Cole Fenton. Cole Fenton looks at a called strike. Cole, a freshman phenom last year for Walter State. He's from Dyer County. That's where the home of Dyersburg State. Fenton having another outstanding year. Came in hitting .405. He's playing in his 57th game of the year. This is the 57th game for Walter State. Nearly hit with that pitch. Inside. 24 doubles, 8 home runs, 63 RBIs for Cole. Second team all-conference shortstop. This league had a lot of really good shortstops last year. As that one's lined out to center field, Coleman Neese ranges over into left center field. Track down that line drive for out number 1. Neese can go get him in center field. That'll bring up the player of the year, Holden Pantier. Third base. He was also a second-team all-conference selection, as was Cole Fenton. Last year, Fenton was also a Gold Glove winner. Pantier leads the nation in a couple of categories, doubles with 28, hits with 100, and he's in the top 10 in a number of offensive categories. Backs away from that breaking pitch from Benny Miller. He's second in the country in batting average at .488. He's second in RBIs with 103. Third in extra base hits. He's got 53 of those. Total bases, 200. That's good enough for third. I could keep going. Hey, don't think he's in the top 10 in hit by pitches, but nearly plunked there. He has been bruised 12 times. Walter State is 8th in the country as a team in hit by pitches. And there is a 1-out walk to Pantier. That's his 31st of the year. Hayden Blair coming to the plate. He leads the Senators in walks with 46. He also second on the club in home runs to Drew Blaylock's 25. Hayden Blair has 24 big flies this year. Runner on, 1 out. Blair from Sonoa, Georgia. 6'3", 230-pound redshirt sophomore. Miller, a Farragut Admiral, one of the top high school programs in the state. I believe they're seeking their 5th straight state championship, and they've got a couple handfuls altogether. They're probably the Walters State of high school baseball, would be my guess. Walters State, 12 championships here in the TCCAA in the last 25 years. Chattanooga State, 3. Farragut's probably got 20 state championships, would be my guess. After first strike now, 2 balls and a strike from Miller. Tyler Schaefer's in left, Coleman Neese in center, Tyler Husky in right. They're all playing deep and around toward right field. And a swing and a miss on an off-speed pitch from Miller. Third baseman Ty Newton playing in the hole, the 5.5 hole, as Taylor Head, slick fielding shortstop, playing up the middle. Ben Morgan is in the dirt and with his heels on the grass at second base. That ball is hit in between first and second into right field for a base hit. Pantier's not stopping at second. And the throw comes into the infield. Walters State has something going here in the bottom of the first. A ground ball base hit for Blair. Blair comes in hitting .408. He's one of 5 Senators hitting over .400. Drew Blaylock just under it. He's at .381, but 25 home runs, 72 RBIs. Also will get on the mound from time to time. He's got 5 appearances on the mound. Runners at the corners. Just getting started here in game 1 of a quadruple header. Breaking pitch right across the dish by Miller. Luke Sweeney's behind the plate, as he is regularly for Chattanooga. He's from Dalton, Georgia. That ball's in the dirt, and it's going to lead to the first run of the ball game, scored by Pantier on a wild pitch. Down to second goes Blair. And Walters State leads 1-0. Walters is the number 6 team in the country in batting average. .383 team average. They're 4th in the country in home runs with 127. That's hit out to center field. Neese is going to have to get over to the right field side of center field. He hauls that one in for out number 2. 2 outs, 1 run in on a walk and a single and a wild pitch.
Now batting the designated hitter, number 29, Kenny Cox.
Kenny Cox, also a catcher, as the DH here in game 1. Cox hitting .426. He's got 9 home runs and 54 RBIs, 14 doubles. Another pitch in the dirt. Comes back quickly to Sweeney, but that's going to be the second wild pitch on that breaking pitch from Miller. On Presto Sports, the stats reveal that he only had 3 during the year, but those are not always accurately counted. That's a line drive base hit into left field by Cox, and Walters State leads 2-0. RBI for Cox, drives in Blair. That'll bring Miles Shore to the plate. Shore, redshirt freshman, 6'1", 205-pound outfielder from Marietta, Georgia. Stands in. He's second on the club in batting average, .432, playing in his 51st game. And like the shirt moved, his jersey moved a little bit, but probably in his movement to back away from that inside fastball. On deck is Jackson Berry. Another inside pitch. Shore takes for ball 2. Miles, 10 doubles, 8 home runs, 37 RBIs. Miller trying to find that third out. Sweeney had to take a quick stab at that pitch to keep it from the backstop. Backstop a little bit shorter than you'll see at other college fields. And as you saw earlier, there is a bit of a kick off of the padding. So as a base runner, you have to be a little bit careful. 3-0, misses inside, a 4-pitch walk, second walk of the inning by Miller. Only has 23 innings in his 15 prior appearances. Had only given up 15 hits, 12 runs, but had walked 18 while striking out 26. Had a 4.30 ERA. As he's getting a visit from Luke Sweeney and Logan Wallace. Both sophomores. Wallace from Ooltewah, Tennessee, one of the great city names here in this state. Ooltewah and Etowah. Cities in East Tennessee. Jackson Berry stands in the right-hand batter's box. He's from Science Hill High School, Johnson City. He grounds one to third, but it will go foul. Ty Newton fields that. Not sure if Dave Shelton is an aggressive third base coach to go after foul balls or not. Greg Dennis will occasionally go after one. Hopefully they're quick enough to get out of the way of some line drives. 0-1 pitch as Miller looks back at second. It's line foul, and Miller gets ahead 0-2. Breeze blowing in from center field toward the first base dugout here on the campus of Columbia State Community College. This is Tim Reese in for Jay Harper, who will handle some on-field interviews today, as he did interview Dave Shelton. That's popped up and playable to the right side. Logan Wallace in foul territory. Continues over onto the warning track just in front of the fence in foul territory. Makes the catch for out number 3. Walters gets on the board with 2 runs on 2 hits. There were no errors, and 2 runners were left on base. We're headed to the second. Walter State leads 2-0.
As a first-generation college student, estaba un poco nerviosa. I knew I would need extra support, but I didn't know where to find it. At Roan State, I have a success coach to help me with every step along the way. Para más información, visita la página roanstate.edu.
At Walters State, our story is focused on student success. We're dedicated to creating an environment where our students can thrive, both in and outside of the classroom. So, what do you want to study? Pick a program. We've got over 150 of them. Some are transfer programs that prepare you to transition to a 4-year school after you graduate. We also have regionally and nationally recognized programs that immediately make you career ready. Visit us at ws.edu or give us a call to get started today. Write your story at Walters State.
Tim Reese back on the Game Time Sports Network. Producer, director Jonas Harmon is handling the computer, the camera switching. He's doing everything but the talking. He's working hard for Game Time Sports Network, student here at Columbia State. He's a former Creeker, Stewart's Creek High School, Smyrna. So is Smyrna your hometown? Is that right? Smyrna. He's a Smyrnoid, as we used to call people from Smyrna. It was a term of endearment. I don't know where it came from, but I hope Jonas doesn't take it personally at all. Just played some college baseball with a guy who came from Smyrna. It's the first time I'd ever heard of it. First pitch from Osbolt. Sounded fast. Ground ball to short. Fenton backhands, and he throws on to first to retire Logan Wallace. That's 4 up, 4 down. Wallace from Ooltewah, Tennessee, 6'3", 210-pound sophomore. Coleman Neese steps to the plate. Speaking of a creeker, this is a creeker right here. Coleman Neese, NEAS. Had a big 2-game series against Volunteer State this past week. Swing and a miss. Osbolt gets ahead. Osbolt winds and delivers high and outside. He's playing in his 44th game of the year. He's hitting .331. 6 doubles, a triple, 3 home runs, 41 RBIs. Not a big guy, and he is just taking strike 3 looking. Home plate umpire, Mark McNabney. Down at first base is Jake Britt, and down at third base, David Mayberry. Our 3 arbiters for today's game. Conference action brings 3 umpires. Normally during the year, JUCO baseball, it's just 2. Plate umpire and a base umpire as Taylor Head swings and misses. Head from Cedar Hill, Tennessee. That's up in Robertson County, north of Nashville. Went to Joe Burns High School. Swing and a miss. Hitting .324, 16 doubles, 4 home runs, 37 RBIs. Redshirt sophomore at Chat, and he swings and misses 3 times, and another 1-2-3 inning for Osbolt. And he has struck out half of those batters as we are headed to the bottom of the second. Walter State leads 2-0. You're listening to the Game Time Sports Network.
As a first-generation college student, estaba un poco nerviosa. I knew I would need extra support, but I didn't know where to find it. At Roan State, I have a success coach to help me with every step along the way. As a first-generation college student, estaba un poco nerviosa. I knew I would need extra support, but I didn't know where to find it. At Roan State, I have a success coach to help me with every step along the way. Para más información, visita la página roanstate.edu. As a first-generation college student, estaba
I chose Columbia State because it was very convenient. It's close to home.
I get a real sense of community, a sense of family.
I absolutely fell in love with the campus and the faculty and the programs and everything like that, and it was so awesome for me.
Explore your opportunities.
8-9-1 due up for Walter State here in the bottom of the second, facing Benny Miller, right-hander for Chat State. Freshman, 5'10", 170 as he gets ahead of Dalton. Dalton, 6'1", 180-pound freshman. You know, I've seen this name of this town in Texas before. It's not pronounced like it looks. S-A-C-H-S-E. Sachet or something, or Saxy, or he's from Texas. It's a big state. He's down in the count 0-2, leading off the second. Dalton hitting .322. Chopped foul, and that hit off of his lower extremity. Apparently not fazed by it. Not hopping around like you see a lot of people. He is wearing a shin guard on that front leg, though. He's playing in his 46th game of the year. He's got 4 doubles, 3 home runs, 17 runs batted in, 127 big flies for the Senators this year. Need to look back at last year's. They led the country in at least a half a dozen offensive categories. I think they set their record for home runs a year ago. They had the JUCO Player of the Year as Dalton goes down on strikes. That's the first strikeout of the game for Benny Miller. That'll bring up the 9-hole hitter, center fielder Luke Graham.
Now batting number 26, the center fielder, Luke Graham.
Graham comes in hitting .286 from Yukon, Ohio. 6'2", 195-pound sophomore. Miller pitches from the stretch, and he pours a pitch that missed somewhere. Maybe down, maybe in. But it was called a ball. On deck, Cole Fenton. Walters State on a 10-game winning streak. That's not their longest of the year. Swing and a miss. They had a 12-game winning streak earlier this year. Their longest losing streak of the year, 2 games. That happened 3 times.